I have been looking for these three cards in Korean, and I finally found them. Now, if you're familiar with these three cards, you'll know that the Charmander is found in the Obsidian Flames ETB as a promo, and these two cards are pulled from Stellar Crown. However, in Korean, well, first, there's no Obsidian Flames ETB, and the Bulbasaur and Squirtle aren't found in the Stellar Crown equivalent, which is Stellar Miracle in Korean. So how do you get these cards? So after a really quick Google search and a little bit of investigating, I found that it is in this box right here. And I'm super excited to open this. It's not often I get my hands on Korean promo collections, and this box right here should contain these three cards in Korean. So what exactly is this box and what does it include? So with my limited Korean reading skills, this is a special deck set. So this box will contain 360 card decks featuring the Charizard, the Blastoise, and the Venusaur. And the box includes everything that you need to play the game. So let's go ahead, get into it, and see what it looks like. And there we are. So here are our three decks. I believe this is just a little holder for all the coins and maybe damage counters as well. Here are the coins. Look pretty sweet. They're kind of upside down. There we go. Look pretty sweet. And let's see what else we got in here. I believe this is probably going to be used as kind of a box divider in case you wanted to use this. Let me see. Yeah, so like it kind of fits the card length kind of perfectly. So this is probably to hold your cards if you wanted to use this box as a kind of storage. And let's see what's in this bag. Seems like this is a kind of like a trainer manual on how to play the game. It is all in Korean, by the way. I mean, I think that was obvious. Oh, and this seems to be like guides on how to play the specific decks. So if you're playing the Blastoise, the Charizard, the Venusaur, and we have some damage counters here. And then we have what seems like, seems like it's a poster. Let me zoom out this camera. This one, it's a poster feel, but it's a playmat. This one has kind of rules and instructions, kind of tips. And I think the other side is more of a standard kind of playmat with the 3 Pokemon. So let me just lay that out here. All right, now with that put away, let's get to the main event of this box and the main reason why I purchased this box. Now, I believe the promos are in these decks, so let's go ahead and get these opened up. And here's the main event. Let's start off with the Venusaur deck, and it is right behind the 2 EX cards. Here it is, our Bulbasaur art rare. Pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and place that down and see what else is in this deck. So it seems like, interesting that there's actually yellow border cards in here as well. And so some from the Sword and Shield era, your standard kind of trainer cards, your Ionos, your Boss's Orders, and some energies. And actually, I don't have a lot of Korean energies just because energy cards don't come in booster packs. So this is actually my first batch of Korean energy cards. Let's move on to the next one. Our Blastoise deck. And so the Squirtle should be behind these 2 Blastoises. And there we go. The Squirtle art rare. Oh my goodness, in Korean. Then let's go ahead and go through the Blastoise deck as well. So we have some Squirtles, Wartortles, and again, Sword and Shield era cards with the yellow border. It's really interesting that they included these in the decks as well, because I guess, maybe they're just better cards in terms of the meta. But again, my first energy cards in Korean. Harder to come by in Korean since I only opened booster boxes, but it's pretty cool. And last but not least, let's go ahead, open up or look at our Charmander promo. Should be behind these 2 Charizard EXs, and there we go. Probably the fan favorite of the bunch, I would say, is this Charmander. Place this down, and again, let's go ahead and go through our Charizard EX deck. Cool Moltres. Oh, Canyon. Ooh, a couple Charcadets. And it has the SVG, the promo, like, or the code for this deck box. So actually this would be part, or this would add to my Charcadet master set. It's definitely not one that I have, so put that to the side. Which one looks better? Yeah. And then have Armarouge. Very, very cool. Yeah, all right. Yeah, your standard kind of trainer cards. Then Fire Energy. So here is the cards in both languages, kind of side by side, in case you wanted to see. Top row is going to be the Korean cards, bottom row is going to be the English. Now, these English cards are actually pretty pricey now. The singles, I believe, are anywhere from like $30 to $50, I'm pretty sure. The Korean singles also decently pricey. I believe each one will run you about, I think sales data kind of varies on eBay, but I've seen anywhere from like 25 to 35 for each one of these cards. And so the whole set in Korean probably going to be at least $70, $75 for the 3 cards. And obviously in English, single prices right now are still pretty crazy, but here they are. I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison and kind of just talk about the prices of these cards a little bit. Now I will say, generally speaking, Korean cards are or they tend to have a little bit more of a darker, more contrasted look, and it tends to highlight more of the purples, the purple hues, while the English cards tends to have a stronger green tint on all the cards, but these look actually pretty similar. I never noticed how purple even like the English card is. There's a lot of strong purple hues, like in the shadows and such, and so this card is pretty similar. But these are pretty clean copies of the Bulbasaur. Very, very cool. Now the Squirtle here, you can definitely tell a little bit more of a difference in the color compared to the English and Korean. English on the left, Korean on the right. So Korean cards, again, tend to have more contrast, meaning darker darks and lighter lights. So there's a bigger difference between the lights, the highlights and the shadows. And you can kind of see that here. The shadows in the right over here beneath the pool tend to be a little bit darker than the English one right here, where the whole scene is a little bit brighter. Probably up to personal preference, really. Although other than that, again, I don't see much of the difference with the purple hues and the green tints here. Yeah, the foil seems to just be, yeah, there we go. Maybe this is a better look. Yeah, looks pretty similar. Let's go ahead, take a look at the Charmander. And ooh, a big color difference in this one, actually. Now, this one will probably be the most divisive for everyone watching, but definitely a deeper color in the Korean card. And I know I'm obviously biased towards Korean cards, but actually I think I like the English card better for this one, just because the art style kind of lends more to a very like light pastel-y color palette, whereas I feel like the darker saturated orange in the Charmander doesn't fit as well. However, I will say, you know, looks pretty good. Again, the foil, yeah, I'll turn it away from the light just so you can kind of see it without the foil shining, because the foil color does kind of overpower. Yeah, so this is a good look at kind of the difference between the two cards. But very cool comparison regardless. Obviously, let me know in the comments which ones you prefer, the Korean or the English. I think I'm kind of neutral on these. They're actually pretty similar. I have a lot of duplicates between Korean and English that I've kind of compared on my own time, and I'm kind of split. It really depends. Sometimes it's one or the other, but I would say in terms of the card comparisons, this Bulbasaur and Squirtle are some of the closest English to Korean comparisons that I've seen. Obviously, the Charmander is a little bit different, and I like the Charmander in English here better, but either way, I am so happy I actually have this set in Korean, and it is going to be going straight into my binder. I may send these in for grading. Now, I've been trying to build up a solid batch of Korean cards to send in for grading, and you know what? I don't think these would be too bad. Definitely 9s for sure. I haven't really checked out the back of these, so actually I shouldn't speak too confidently, but the fronts of these don't seem too bad. Centering seems to be within the margin for a 10. So yeah, they're pretty clean. Either way, we'll see if I do send them in for grading and I ever get them back, because I know PSA is super backed up right now. But now, if you do want your hands on this box and want these promos for yourself, obviously you can buy it anywhere on eBay, things like that. However, I will have it in my store. I only have a few boxes. I have 4 boxes, and so it is going to be a first come first serve. But if you're watching this, then you know you have a little bit of a head start. I won't be advertising it on my website as a new stock drop, but it will be there for everyone to see. So yeah, if you watch this video, you think you might be interested in picking this up. I think it's a pretty cool collector's item, so if you want to keep it sealed for that reason, or if you just want the promos, I think it's a cool pickup. Also, just having a fully playable deck in Korean is also pretty cool. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Leave a comment below if there's any other Korean kind of specialty products that you want to see me get my hands on and see me stock up in my store. I will try to get them if there's enough demand, but otherwise, thank you guys all so much. Check out PokecoreTCG.com if you're interested in Korean Pokemon cards at all, and subscribe for more Korean Pokemon card content. Otherwise, I'll see you all on the next one.